For Gonzaga, we have head coach Mark Few, student athletes Kevin Penkus and Elias Harris. Coach, if you could, an opening statement on the game tonight.
Hey, it was a great ball game. Two high-level tournament teams going at it, and battled. 40 minutes wasn't enough, so we needed an extra 5. And then at the end, they stepped up and made enough big shots. Neither team shot it great in the overtime, but they made enough to get it done. You know, I actually kind of came down to a hustle play of 50-50 ball, so that kind of decided it.
Questions for the student athlete? Please raise your hand, name and affiliation, please. Questions for the student athletes?
How we start to come as you do? At least just general impressions of the game and how do you feel you obviously had a great battle with Rob Jones?
Yeah, you're right. It was a great battle. I mean, St. Mary's a really good team. They just outpowered us today on the boards, and there were too many defensive mistakes on our side. And, one thing leads to another, and next thing you know, they're up, and they feel good about themselves and make shots. And, that cost us the game, I think.
Elise, Todd Noah's tone. Can you talk about the 3 to send it to overtime, or at least 4 seconds ago in regulation, what you saw and what was going through your mind?
I mean, well, the only thing we said was try to get an open look somehow and then shoot it with confidence. And Sam saw me on top and threw me a great pass, and I felt comfortable enough to shoot it and had a good look, and luckily I made it.
Steve, were you surprised they didn't try to foul you, or were you just open long enough to get it off before they could even reach you?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I was just wide open when I caught it, and then I shot it right away. I didn't even thought about anything else, so I was ready for the shot.
Kevin, you got off to a good start, hit a couple shots, but then kind of went off track. Had open looks, but Dellavedova was guarding you pretty well. What happened offensively?
They denying me a little bit, but my teammates found me. I had good looks. I just didn't knock them down. That happens, I guess, and I'm fortunate in this situation, but we'll come back strong next game and in the tournament.
Can you explain what happened on the 50-50 ball? You got a foul, and Dell, you got 2 free throws.
Yeah, it was pretty basic, just both going for the ball. I hit him, I guess. He hit me, whatever it was, and that's what the call the refs made. So I don't think there's much more to it, but that's what happened, and it's unfortunate.
Any further questions for the student athletes?
Just give us your keys to the game.
Keys to the game?
Yeah.
Well, for us, it was just executing our strategy, whatever it was on defense and offense, and we had to bring a lot of energy, and I don't think we did a good enough job boxing out on the defensive end, and we didn't execute as well as we did last time we played them. So again, we'll go back to practice, and the next time we play, we got to execute better than that.
Howard?
Kevin, just another going against a good point guard, another good point guard like yourself. What was your impression of Matt's play, and what did he say to you at the end as he tracked you down after you got your all tournament?
Yeah, well, I've been watching him all year, and he's a crafty player. He's really talented and knows how to use his body and can score, can find his teammates. He's really unpredictable. So I value his game and I respect it a lot, and maybe I can learn from him as well because he does some things differently than I do. Yeah, at the end he just came out to me and wished me luck, said good game, and that's basically it. It was really nice of him.
Final question for the student athletes.
Elias, how important was the rebounding? They got you a little bit on the glass tonight.
I think rebound was the main factor. I think they had 14 offensive boards compared to our 12, so that means they had 2 extra possessions, and at the end of a tight game like that, that's what you need sometimes, just those 2 extra possessions to score the ball, and I think that broke our neck tonight.
Student athletes are excused. Thank you. Questions for Coach Few? Bud?
Mark, St. Mary's talked yesterday about they wanted to take away the 3 and make you guys shoot 2s, and ultimately, did it appear that way to you?
I mean, we got up a lot of 3s. I mean, we got up 22 of them. It's just that's kind of basketball. We were making them Saturday and had a bunch of them popcorn out today. We had some really nice looks. Kev did, Gary did, especially in that run. We made a nice little run there in the second half and both got back-to-back great looks. Those are the looks we want them to take, and they, they're just great team shots. We got, down the stretch, we got a lot of great team shots, and the difference is, a couple of they just didn't go in. Guy had a couple good looks. He's been shooting it from three very well. So,
Coach, could you talk about the effect of Guy getting in foul trouble early in the second half had?
Yeah, that hurt us. He's one of our better perimeter defenders, and he's big enough that with our switch package, when we switch him onto their big, we don't lose much. And obviously Rob was doing a phenomenal job out there on Dellavedova, but we ended up with a couple of our smaller guys on their bigs down low, and they ended up getting offensive rebounds, and that was hurting us in that one stretch when they jumped ahead.
Steve?
Now you've had a chance to experience playing in this format. It seemed like both teams played with extended energy over 45 minutes. Can you just talk to that about how maybe raised the quality of the game tonight?
Yeah, I think it might have. I mean, we've played good in some of these finals, and we've played really good in the past where we've really shot it good. After going 5 for 22 from three, I don't know if I totally agree with that and the way we defended and rebounded, but it's probably the way to do it, just for if you can get away with it and rest your guys, and theoretically everybody should be a little bit fresher.
John?
Mark, you said the way you defended and rebounded. What about defense did you think you slipped in? You just said that the way you defended, you maybe didn't play as well because of the way you defended.
I said when Guy was out, okay, that made us switch on smaller guards to their bigs, which then they have a bigger advantage on the offensive boards, and they did, and they had 2 or 3 of them right there that were against our smaller guards.
Jim?
They just seem to make you pay a lot of time, especially early, defensively, just a little gap.
Well, they're a great passing team, and whatever help you give, they exploit it, and it looks methodical probably, but the ball screen and how you're helping on the roll and all that, that's why Dellavedova is such a special player, and they stepped up and knocked him down. At our place, we did a better job of being dialed into our coverages because we were switching it up. We have 3 or 4 different ways to do it, and we weren't as clean this time. We had 3 or 4 miscommunications, and they took advantage of it. But we still had, it was an even game there down till that 50-50 ball.
2 more questions?
Mark, talk a little bit about Rob's play tonight. This was his final WCC game.
No, he was unbelievable defensively. The plays he was making down the stretch. I don't know who else can do that, with the exception of maybe Kentucky or somebody, to switch their 5 out on a conference player of the year time and time again, and play it to your advantage. And that's why he's such a special player. And he just made play after play after play, against a great offensive player. So, really pleased with that.
Final question for Mark?
What do you think? What do you think basically gave you? What did they do that gave you the most trouble? Do you think?
When they passed the ball and like they were and made shots like that. I think the key was they just got too many offensive rebounds tonight. It's too many opportunities, and a lot of those were dead ball rebounds, or we'd play great defense and they'd take a tough shot or a questionable shot, and we weren't finishing it with a rebound. We've been doing that pretty good. That's one of our strengths. So I'd say that was probably it right there.
Bud, one more.
Mark, Gary's been such a great three-point shooter this year, but he ends up only getting 1 3 in the term, one attempt. Did he need to maybe look for that a little bit more?
Yeah, I think so. We probably need to do a better job of finding him. He's, I think, the leading three-point shooter in the league coming into this. So, guys aren't helping as much off him now and things like that. He's not a one-trick pony by any stretch. So they were up into him, and he was driving today. So,
Coach, thank you.
Yep.